All right, I'm going to keep this light. I'm going to keep this, I don't know, relatively brief. I don't know. I just started. We'll see where it goes. Just a little recap and just what where I've been, where I am now, where I'm going, kind of thing. I've been gone for a bit. I wasn't expecting to be gone. I wasn't expecting my video on July 31st to be the last one for weeks. Honestly, I felt like I was kind of ramping up to something or whatever, but instead, no. Instead, for me, it helped. It helped me. It helped me to see that what I had to say resonated with a lot of people. And oh my gosh, okay, maybe a disclaimer. People, look, I just got out of bed. The house is quiet. I'm taking advantage. I'm just showered and dried and here I am. So okay, I feel better now that I mentioned it. Okay. My last video. Thank you everyone who liked, commented, subscribe to my channel. I normally don't say thank you for subscribing to my channel, but for this one it was like, I thought I'll say it this one time. But everyone who like engaged with me in that video. I'm not on YouTube to be popular. I'm not on YouTube to make friends. We all saw how that happened. Well, we all saw how that went pear-shaped. I'm not on YouTube to build my channel. What do people call it? Is it build their channel or grow? I'm not on YouTube to grow my channel. I'm on YouTube because it's quicker to record a video than it is to write a blog, and nobody's reading blogs anymore. I'm not even reading blogs, and I'm like pretty, I started out reading blogs kind of thing, or even before that. You know what I mean? Like, it's so, there we go. All right. Oh my God. Where am I going? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. I could tell you where I am. Okay? Here's where I am with everything. So if you let's just do one of these videos where I tell you practically what I've done since my last video. What I've done since my last video is I got rid of more decks. No. Rid is not the right word. I stored them. I stored away the ones that I went through all the decks that I have, and I have a lot. It's like I'm never, you know what? I still have these pangs of I'm never gonna be Grace that had 2 tarot, Morgan Greer and Mythic Tarot. I'm never gonna be that person again. So I had to and what is my issue with it? I'm not going to share, but I can only tell it. So from a practical point of view, I want to share with you what I did practically for those of you out there who are going through this deck madness, overwhelm, whatever. I removed all the decks. So I went to my shelf where I store my stuff, and I removed all the decks that were FOMO, fantasy self, impulse, whatever, new, latest, greatest, whatever moniker I gave it that made it, and I didn't bond with it. Okay. Oh my God, this is bad, people. I'm sorry, but I need to start somewhere, and if I don't post this video, I'm never gonna record another video again. So I'm gonna push through. Once I remove those decks from my sacred space, what remained are decks that define me. that not define me. That's stupid. They reflect who I am. They don't define me. That's the wrong use of the word in English. What remained were the decks that reflect who I am spiritually. And here's the crux of it. Tarot is a spiritual tool for me. Tarot and oracle decks are the media by which I contact and communicate with spirit. It's how spirit contacts and communicates with me, and vice versa. It always has been, and it always will be. And you know what? Unapologetic. I'm not here to say if it's valid that people use their tarot deck in the place of psychotherapy, because one, I don't believe that's true. If you need psychotherapy, you need a psychotherapist. You don't need a fucking deck of cards. But do I believe? But I'm also a liar if I say that I haven't used tarot for introspection. It's just that tarot and oracle decks, all the methods I use for divination, there's the word, divination, to divine, to connect to the divine. Once I cleared my head, I removed all the decks that were touted on social media as being, oh, this is a great psychological deck, and this is great for shadow work. I lie though, I kept one that's marketed for shadow work because it's freaking brilliant. So where am I going from here? I put the decks away. I put them on ice. I put them in a box, nice and quiet, to the special ones I want to keep, the ones that I bonded with at some point in my life. I have my COVID deck. Marielle is a deck that I'm always going to keep. I don't know if I'm ever going to pick it up again, but I'm always going to keep it because it was the deck that literally, between it and soul cards, there's a video on my channel, between it and soul cards, literally at face value, told me how ill I was. I was ill with some kind of respiratory illness. Very, very similar to, if not, it was COVID, but it was early on, so I wasn't tested and I don't know. But anyway, I digress. What I'm trying to say is I'm keeping all the decks that I've bonded with or that I have history with in terms of my communication with spirit, provided that was good rapport, provided that it was therapeutic. There's the word. Provided that it was spiritually fulfilling, or provided that it was good for me, is what I'm trying to say. Any deck that feels creepy, gone. Any deck that fucks around when I'm reading from it, because I'm of the school, I'm of the realm, I'm of the place where tarot decks certain spirits connect to divination decks, and sometimes you get an asshole. And this is why I think I want to talk more and more about these kind of things on my channel. I think I came on today to say, you know what, I'm still going to talk about tarot. I love tarot and oracle. I love reading cards. But I think I'm going to talk about it more in my context. Because even if there's only one person out there but I suspect there's more than one person out there that's going to relate. I think I'm going to talk more about how the psychic aspect of reading with tarot and oracle decks, the spirit, the psychic hygiene, of the tools that you use. I'm going to link for you below a video that my friend sent to me. That I had, we all do it, right? Oh, I want to watch this. Wait, on the watch later list, right? Not wait, on the watch later list. Never got to it. And she sent it to me, and I watched it, 3 times, maybe 4. And if you're struggling with trying to understand your overconsumption, your deck overwhelm, and you want to get back to why you got into tarot and card reading in the first place, this video is for you. It's by Shane in the Universe, and he talks about tarot as a spiritual tool and addiction. An addiction, I sit here before you, and I'm qualified to say this. I am professionally qualified to say this. Addiction comes in many, many forms. You can you could be addicted to something that's bad for you. That's quite benign. That's quite objectively benign. For instance, someone could be addicted to bananas. That is quite objectively benign. Someone would laugh, big fucking deal. You're addicted to bananas. And it's better than drugs, or it's better than alcohol, whatever. You know what I mean? It's better than gambling. At least you're not a degenerate gambler. You know what I mean? Like that kind of, there's that kind of thing. But you see, to the person who's addicted to the bananas, why did I pick bananas? Because I'm looking at the bananas on the counter. The person who's addicted to bananas, their experience goes as such. They're constantly eating bananas. Their blood sugar is constantly elevated. Their potassium in their blood, their serum potassium is constantly elevated. Too much potassium seriously could stop your heart. Boom. Done. Like it just stops. It contracts and it stops because of too much potassium. The complications of diabetes from their blood sugar constantly be elevated with the bananas. They may experience constipation. They may experience all kinds of stuff. It's detrimental to them, even though on the exterior it's benign to everyone else. It's like, oh, come on, man. So what? Leave the poor guy alone, or leave the poor girl alone. It's like, yeah, she's not hurting anybody being addicted to bananas. She's hurting herself. So, circling back, I want to get back on track on my channel. I want to get back on track. So going forward, I will do deck reviews. I will do deck reviews of the decks, but they're reviews. I've been working with them. I can give you in-depth analysis is a bit of a stretch because I'm not going to be doing that. But you know what I mean? I could give you an in-depth review of my experience using a certain deck. I could talk an hour about this one. At least. Morgan Greer. So I will be doing deck reviews. Book reviews. Because I'm at a stage in my life where it's really hard to find good books on folk magic. And there's lots of good books that are written out there, but they're not appropriate for me. I've been practicing for so long. You know, the first couple of pages where I say, oh, this is, this is so similar to what I do is fun. 250, 275 pages of shit I already know is not. So it's, and this is not throwing shade at the authors. Thank God you're out there writing these books for the people who haven't read them yet. But I am so, so grateful for the people out there writing books aimed at people like me who've been practicing for decades. And some of those books are beginner books. They reignite. A good beginner's book ignites and inspires someone who's new, reignites and re-inspires someone who's not. So I'll be sharing book reviews. As far as tarot decks go, what did I keep? If I'm able to find that channel, this is terrible, but if I'm able to find that video I saw, it's in French, but she talks about curating your collection to be reflective of who you are. So basically, your tarot collection reflecting, or your tarot oracle deck collection reflects who you are. She says it so much more eloquently than I do, but it's what I have been doing. So since my last video, remember what I said? You have to go back to the river over and over again. I'm not freaking kidding, people. It's like this has been a year of figuring out what's wrong. Why do I impulse buy these? Why do I impulse buy these shits? Why do I impulse buy these decks? What am I searching for that I'm not? Obviously, I'm not finding it. If I keep repeating the behavior, I keep impulse purchasing the deck that I think I'm going to connect to. What? When, in a pinch, I reach for the same decks over and over and over again. When I want a straight answer, when I need guidance, when I need to take the temperature of what's going on in my circumstances, oh my gosh, there's only 3 decks I reach for. Actually, there's two. I reached for my Thoth because I had to look it up. I received my Thoth in February of 2020. I guess it'll always be the pandemic greenie. And I've used it consistently, daily, all the time since I received it. I can't say the same for most of the decks I purchased prior and since. See what I'm saying? And the other one is Morgan Greer, because I have a long time relationship with this deck. This deck has seen me at my worst and my best. And that's a relationship that I want to have with my spiritual tools. So, because I repeat myself, because I don't have notes, and just to recap, and because I'm a teacher at heart and a former teacher. Well, former teacher. I don't teach anymore, but I used to teach. I'm going to tell you what I told you. Deck reviews are coming back, but they're going to be proper reviews, not just flip throughs. They're probably not even going to be flip throughs. I might combine the flip through with the deck review. I'm not sure yet what I'm doing with that, but deck reviews are coming back, but they're only going to be the ones I really know well, and I can really speak to my experience reading with them. book reviews and all kinds of folk magic and witchy stuff, and there's going to be more Italian folk magic in my content. No reason why I didn't have more of it prior to now, other than time constraints. I also wasn't sure there was a, anyways, I wasn't sure there was an interest. But no, there's going to be more Italian folk magic, or folk magic in general. And maybe even some witchy crafts. I may even share a deck mod or two. What I'm trying to say is I'm returning to what I enjoy talking about. And it's going to be what I enjoy talking about. Unapologetic. So if you're someone that these cards are just pieces of cardboard, and you don't believe that they predict the future, because they do. Even if you don't believe that you're predicting the future, you are, with every reading that you give people. Because if you're not, I don't understand why they come to you, because that's why people seek a reader. And if you don't believe, if to you these are not spiritual tools and they're not magic, you're probably not going to be very interested in my content, and that's okay. I need to be interested in my content. I need to enjoy what I'm talking about, because to be perfectly honest, this is really one-sided, right? I'm speaking to a camera. If I don't believe and don't enjoy what I'm talking about, then what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing it, right? Okay. Well, I'm going to go put the coffee on and start my day. And I'll be back probably sometime later on. It's Labor Day weekend here in Canada, and in the US. So I'll probably, now that I've busted through my reticence, now that I've busted through my whatever this was, I'll be back with another video pretty quick. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful day.